So, you're running a WooCommerce store and using Microsoft Dynamics 365 Business Central. That's an incredibly powerful combination, right? But it also comes with one major headache. How do you keep them talking to each other? Well, today we're going to look at an extension that's designed to build an automated bridge between the two and solve that exact problem for good.
I mean, just think about the daily grind, right? You're copying and pasting order details, you're manually trying to update inventory counts, you're creating new customer records by hand. It's not just slow and tedious, it's practically an open invitation for mistakes. So what if, and this is the big question, what if you could just stop? What if you could get rid of all that manual work and just let your systems do the heavy lifting for you?
So how does it work? Well, the solution here is a Business Central extension. And the key thing to understand is that this isn't some separate piece of software you have to juggle. Nope. It plugs directly into your ERP. It uses the official WooCommerce API to create this seamless data highway between your storefront and your back office. Basically, it's designed to work from the inside out, right from the system you're already in every day.
Okay, first things first. Before we can automate anything, we have to get these two systems talking to each other. So let's take a look at how this extension makes that crucial first connection.
And you can see right away just how integrated this is. I mean, look, it's right there in your Business Central dashboard. There's a dedicated WooCommerce menu. All the tools you need, from downloading orders to managing your shops, it's all native to the environment. And that means no more switching between apps, no separate logins, none of that hassle.
And actually, getting it set up looks super straightforward. You just plug in your shop's URL and the API keys you generate from WooCommerce, and you're pretty much good to go. And here's a really cool feature. You can add multiple shops. So you can manage, say, your main retail site and a separate wholesale portal, all from this one single interface. All right, so we're connected. Now let's get to the fun part, automating your entire sales workflow. We're talking from the second a customer clicks buy all the way to the final invoice.
So here's how that automated lifecycle actually works in practice. An order comes in on your site. The system immediately pulls it into Business Central and creates a sales order. Boom, done. Then, when you process the shipment in BC, it automatically updates the order status back in WooCommerce. Same thing happens when you create the invoice. The entire loop is closed with absolutely zero manual data entry.
And this isn't some rigid one-size-fits-all system. It looks like you get a ton of control over that process. This settings screen is basically your command center. For instance, you can tell it to only download orders that have a processing status. Or you can decide exactly what status an order flips to in WooCommerce the moment you post the invoice in Business Central. It's all about tailoring the automation to fit your specific workflow.
And, of course, your customer data gets that same streamlined treatment. When a new customer places an order, you can have the system automatically create a brand new customer card for them in Business Central. Or, hey, if you prefer to keep things a bit tidier, you can have all guest checkouts assigned to a single default guest account. It's your call.
Okay, so orders and customers are covered. That's huge. But what about the products themselves? Let's dig into how this extension makes Business Central the one single source of truth for your entire catalog. This is really where Business Central becomes the master record for all your products. From this one screen, you control what data gets pushed up to your WooCommerce store. We're talking item details, prices, and most importantly, your real-time inventory levels. You can even tell it to sync the inventory from a specific warehouse location. Super powerful stuff.
And that level of control goes all the way down to the individual item card. You can see right here, there's just a simple switch to enable an item for the web. You can assign it to a specific shop if you have more than one. And this section here even lets you manage those complex product variations. You know, like a t-shirt that comes in different colors and sizes. All of that is defined directly inside Business Central.
Now, we all know that every business is a little bit different, right? Your payment gateways, your shipping rules, they're unique to you. And that's where mapping comes in. It's what makes sure that all the data flowing between the two systems is translated perfectly.
Think of mapping as a kind of translation dictionary for your business. It lets you create rules that tell Business Central how to understand things coming from WooCommerce, like your payment methods, your shipping options, tax codes, and so on. This flexibility is really what allows the integration to adapt to your specific business processes, instead of forcing you to adapt to it.
And here's a really clear example of how that works. On the left, you've got the code that WooCommerce uses, like BACS for a bank transfer. On the right, you map it to the code that Business Central understands, which in this case is cash. You set this up once, and that's it. The system handles that translation automatically forever.
All right, we've seen all the powerful settings and all the ways you can customize this thing.
Now for the final, most satisfying piece of the puzzle, putting it all on autopilot to truly accelerate your operations.
Meet the scheduler. This is basically the engine that drives all the automation we've been talking about. And you can see here, you can tell it exactly how often to perform each task. So you could say, hey, check for new orders every 5 minutes, but only update inventory levels every 10. Once you set this schedule, the extension just runs quietly in the background, keeping everything perfectly in sync for you.
So when you put it all together, what does it really mean? This kind of full automation isn't just about convenience. It's about practically eliminating data entry errors. It's about ensuring your inventory is always accurate across the board. And most of all, it's about freeing up your team to stop doing manual tasks and start focusing on what actually grows your business. Ultimately, the whole idea here is to create a totally self-sufficient, automated ecosystem for your e-commerce business. It's not just about connecting two platforms. So the real question it leaves you with is this: what could your business achieve with all the time and resources you'd get back from this kind of automation?